Hello, my name is James Kibicki, and I'm the chair of Earth, Environmental, and Resource Sciences here at the University of Texas at El Paso. I've been here since 2015, and I became interested in geology in the 1980s when I was in college as we started to have oil shortages, gas crises, and things like that. And I realized that we were going to need to do more work in geology to provide resources for society. But I came here because it looked like UTEP was growing in the right direction. We were looking to do interdisciplinary research, and I had an opportunity to help reform the department. Our Department of Earth, Environmental, and Resource Sciences, or DEERS for short, is a great department to do your degree in. At the end, you have a very desirable degree in hand, but our graduates all either find jobs or go on to graduate school using their degree. They're highly sought after. There's a lot of jobs and a lot of good, rewarding, high-paying jobs. But also within this department, we have a very good faculty to student ratio. Our students develop a good rapport with one another. We spend a lot of time together in the classroom and labs, but also in the field. And so there's a good moral support system to get through the hard times in college. So with a degree in geological sciences or in environmental sciences, we joke that there's a world of careers out there, right? Because you're literally studying the world, and there's a huge variety of things that you can go do. There's an academic career path, there's government career paths, and industry career paths. Typically, people associate us with careers in the oil and gas industry, and that has employed a lot of our students over time. Of course, the oil and gas industry is changing dramatically, and we're changing with it. We're trying to change the way we educate and train our students so they'll be ready for the jobs in energy in the near future. Even as we transition away from gas cars to electric cars, we're still going to need energy, and a lot of that energy is going to come from the earth. We have environmental science degrees which deal with air, soil, and water. Water is, of course, especially important in an arid region such as El Paso, and as El Paso grows and climate gets hotter and drier, as well as working with our friends in agriculture to grow the food we need, and that's where the soils come in. And then geology has typically been associated with mining, and mining has not been a big growth industry in this country for maybe 40 or 50 years, but that is changing rapidly. As I mentioned, our energy landscape is changing from oil and gas. We're going to need a lot more mining to extract the minerals that we need to build the solar panels, to build the windmills and other energy infrastructure. So probably the biggest, newest, exciting thing that we have going on is a grant from the National Science Foundation that we just received in the past year, led by Aaron Velasco, but involving a lot of faculty in our department. And it's a grant of $7.5 million over 5 years to do community-engaged research to transform the culture of a geoscience department. And we want our students to become involved with community-engaged research and to learn to do research that's more relevant to people's lives. Rather than just doing academic research, we want to do research that has real-world impact. One example of that's been going on, we have a group that studies what we call the critical zone. And the critical zone is from the tops of whatever vegetation you have, the treetops or bushes, all the way down to the groundwater. And this is called the critical zone because it is really critical for life on Earth. And so it may be surprising to some people, but in geosciences here, we work a lot with biologists to try and study the vegetation, how it interacts with the soil and the climate and the water flow, all those things integrated into one. And we study that from a wide variety of aspects. And a big one we're using now is what's called geographic information science and technology, where they're building drones and writing software, developing very high-tech approaches to understanding how the earth works, how plants are thriving or when they're in DEERS. We're very fortunate to have a lot of resources available to students. We like to involve undergraduate as well as graduate students in our research with our faculty. And quite frankly, there's very few places on Earth that would be better to study the Earth than in and around El Paso. We are in a natural geologic lab with the mountains and the exposures we have around. And that's very exciting when you're not just learning out of the textbook, but you're learning to think on your own and explore questions that people haven't had the answers to before. That, to me, is the most exciting thing about science, is figuring out something that no one else has had the answer to before. The other thing that I should mention, we have recently signed an agreement with a lab called Northwest National Labs, and this is an agreement to do internships, paid internships, And so we were starting a lot of collaborations with them in various areas, such as environmental science. And this is nice because you can start working on a project here in El Paso and maybe go with a cohort of other students to the lab for the summer, do some interesting research, and get paid thousands of dollars that you would in a normal job. All right, thanks for watching this video. I hope it intrigued you about our department and our major. We're always here willing to listen. You can look us up on the web and email any one of us in our department, me or the faculty and staff. We'll be glad to talk to you. We're a very open, welcoming department. We're currently looking to recruit more students, and so if you're interested in us, I can guarantee you we'll be interested in you.